Hey everybody, Scotty, on the way home from Devil's Bowl after Saturday night's action. How you doing, bud? You doing alright? Oh, hey,
I'm doing good.
that is a foul.
You
when
know what I
have
thought
a
when you
camera.
said, I'm going to hold this camera from over here? I'm going to say, well, cool, he's got to hold that camera with his left hand with that, and then be holding
No
his
guard.
right hand.
No guard.
No hockey stick.
Quit it! Hey man, that's like some foul stuff going on there. Did you have a good time, Devil's Bowl?
Well, Devil's Bowl, always good people.
Yep.
Devil's Bowl's Devil's Bowl. It's got its own traits and characteristics as a racetrack. Clean air is the key, and you got to keep your momentum up, as you always have to do on those big tracks. That's what it is. So it's Devil's Bowl, another stop at Devil's Bowl, but more impressively, the new faces, not necessarily new, but names and faces getting on the podium and taking the wins that we're not normally used to seeing, typically.
Well, you know what? It's like that every year. Some come, some go.
Some go, some blow.
So that's just the way it is. Some people go on and do their own thing. Some people come back, revisit. It's always good to see those faces, though. But it was really cool to see Patrick Stassa win that first one. Hadn't won a region, let alone a national tour race, and leads every lap. And you know what, Scotty? I got to give the guy credit. He did it with pressure on him. John Carney and Christopher Bell were right there nipping at his tail tank the whole time. And you know what? He held up to the pressure. And that's how you want to win your first one.
Absolutely. And the way that he won it, even more so, first 2/3 of the race was pretty ho-hum. He was gone with the win, and his race car was anchored down. But more impressively, got caught up in some back markers with second and third bearing down upon him with John Carney. And who was third?
Christopher Bell.
Christopher Bell was back in there, and they checked up for the lap traffic coming off of 4, and it was a brand new ball game, and the guys were 3 wide, checked up, boxed in for the lead going down the front straightaway. And when you were thinking to yourself, well, let me see how this is going to shake down, like you said, quite possibly Christopher Bell is going to come out on top of this whole shakedown, and thought Carney might get by him too, and there goes the dream for Stassa. But that's not what happened. Stassa did a hell of a job holding his line. They weeded on through the traffic, and he came out on top. Bell, being very talented, we know what he is.
One of the best right now.
Did not have as good of a race car as Stassa or your second place runner.
Let me ask you this. We always say Christopher Bell's like one of the best right now in the game, right?
I know what you're getting ready to ask me, and I'm thinking,
Is he really one of the best, or is he just one of the best at ASCS 360 level? I mean, is he a World of Outlaw, one of the best? If he had the equipment, would
everybody gets humbled when they go race with the World of Outlaws. You can be as badass as you think you want to be, but if you go race with the World of Outlaws, we're proud of ASCS, our guys, but there's no two ways about it. You go race with the World of Outlaws, you better step your ass up, or else you're just another guy trying to make the show. But here's what I'm saying. Yeah, he is talented. Yeah, he is the real deal. My only hopes for him, maybe he'll see this, maybe he won't. There's a young man named Kyle Larson, and there's a young man named Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who's wildly talented. They made the cut. They're making a lot of money. But here's the most important thing. Be true to your roots and where you came from.
We were talking about that last night.
And your dirt track peeps who were always there and who got you there in the first place. That's all I can say about that. Very, very talented young man, and he's good. He's a good kid, but good personality.
I think they're going to be fine. But I see how some people get lost. I was telling Scotty this last night. I see how some people get lost in the world of big time racing because that's not reality.
Well, it changes your lifestyle. You're constantly miraged with bullshit.
It's not reality.
Right.
It's not the real world.
No.
to most people.
Right. Especially
And sometimes you lose
hometown
track
boy
of
from Oklahoma, right?
anybody. It can happen to anybody. You know, the best person out there. It can happen to any of them. But
anyway.
you know, some of them can handle it better than others, and I think Kyle Larson is going to be fine. I don't think I think he'll remember his beats.
mama and daddy,
Yeah.
Janet, his papa. They have got that boy so grounded and so humble and true to his roots, and it's just in his nature anyway. But to answer your question about Christopher Bell, what was the question? What was the final answer on that?
Christopher Bell,
do you think he's
is
the
he
real deal?
truly? No. We know he's real, but is he the talent that could go if he was in equal equipment, same equipment as any of the top World of Outlaw drivers? Would he outrun those guys or run up front with them?
After a whole lot of seat time with those guys, that's
Results wouldn't be immediate.
No, I could be wrong. I'd just like to ask Brad Loyette. I just like to call him like I see him.
Ask Jason Johnson. Let's be fair. Right?
Buddy Loyette tell you the same thing.
Right.
Anyway, Jason Johnson and Johnny Herrera and Jeff Swindell, the most interesting things to me after 4 races. Well, all three of them will tell you they're not real thrilled with how they've come out of the gate. And more so, the likes of these newcomers. You know, Christopher Bell's not going to be with us.
Right.
He's been all up in the podium.
And really,
and
truth be known, he didn't really want to be at Devil's Bowl, I think, this weekend from what we were told, right?
he had other arrangements, but was obligated kind of morally to come back and run. And backed it up with a good run.
Yep.
Rico Abreu, he comes in, does his thing. Tony Bruce Jr. ought to be in the thick of the points. Matt Covington, very, very impressive after he banged us. Tony Bruce and Matt Covington got together a heat race at Yuma, night number 1. Covington banged the hell out of his knee, and then he rebounded the next night with a solid run, and then 2 big runs.
TBJ had a 17th and a DNF out at Yuma.
So, interesting. All these guys tell you way too early to look at the points and worry about it, but for me or you and the media or anybody else, this is when it's fun to look at the points because it's early, and the newcomers and the guys not normally up in the podiums and wins coming out of the gate, and the old ass kickers are stumbling. So we'll see how it unfolds.
Yeah, but you know, the cream always rises to the top. So
eventually, with time.
Yeah, it always happens that
in a
way.
good number of races.
Rarely does it not.
Yeah.
Hey man, so we were watching a pretty cool movie going down the road the other day.
A movie that I've been telling you about for about 7 years.
Oh, don't tell anybody that we can watch DVDs as we're driving down the road.
That's the only reason you said that, so you can let everybody know you go to
talk about the movie though.
Oh, it's a cult classic, and really it's just stupidity, and it's humanity in its most ignorant form. Sadly enough, a story about one of the most brilliant writers ever. And the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, everybody's seen it except you till the other night. And a story about an amazing man with an unbelievable, amazing talent, Hunter S. Thompson. And everyone knows and has heard about him as well. He was a crazy man, let me tell you.
Crazy. Anyway, all right. Well, had a good time down in Devil's Bowl.
We'll see you at the Dirty 30.
See our peeps later.
See you on the Hammer Hill.
Adios.